Hi everyone, this is a yes or no pick a card reading, which I am so excited to do. This is going to be like a bite-sized pick a card reading. I know some of the latest ones I've done are super long, but I just wanted to do like a bite-sized one like I used to do a really long time ago. I used to do these very short pick a card readings, very to the point, and I just wanted to do one of those, but this is going to be a yes or no type of pick a card reading, which I'm so excited about. So I'm sure from time to time you may have questions where you're thinking all it requires is a yes or a no for me to know. So this is exactly what I'm going to be doing. You may have multiple questions and you may want to choose multiple cards for each of your questions. You know, how this essentially works is we have 22 cards. These 22 cards represent major arcana, so there is one of each from the major arcana. The entire major arcana is laid out here from tarot, and you know, we've got here 22 cards. So actually this is card number one, just in case there is like one that maybe you're fond of the position of, or you're fond of, you know, a specific card, then you can also count which one it is. And then in the description box below, or maybe you're just drawn to the number, in the description box below there will be the 22 timestamps for each of these particular cards, and you can choose for your question which one you would like, and then it will tell you a yes or a no to your question. So it's pretty simple, but you know, I thought I would just let you know in case, you know, for example, you're attracted to this one and you're thinking what number is it, you can always count from here and then you can find out which number it is, or maybe you're just drawn to the number, in which case you can just, you know, go off of the timestamps, and you can choose multiple cards, you can ask multiple questions, and that is the beauty of this particular reading, is it really provides a lot. So we're going to get started straight away. We're going to see what is coming through, and it's going to be very to the point. So let's have a look indeed. All right, so we're going to start first of all with number one. I also forgot to mention my introduction that I do all the time. I do want to mention as well that if you'd like to win a free reading with me, do check out the description box below, since I do a giveaway every single month. If you'd like to purchase a private paid reading, information will also be down below as well. They're done within 24 to 48 hours. And the last thing I want to mention is that my intention bracelets are on Etsy. So these are actually two of them. I'm wearing the Attract Better Days bracelet right at the top, and then the one lower down closer to my wrist is the 2020 energy bracelet, and these are there to remove obstacles and challenges from different areas of your life. They're handmade by me, they're sent out by me, they carry a really beautiful energy as well, and yeah, I think that it's really nice. But also, if you want to see how they also work for other people, that's the bit that is, you know, the really fun element of it, and of course the more serious element of it. Definitely do check out the review section below to see how other people have seen results, and also have lots of different items on my Etsy shop as well. Embroidered cards which you can put under your pillow, in your wallet or your purse, and these are completely hand embroidered, as you can see. So there's lots of different items on there. They're all meditated with, sage, spiritually charged, and also free international shipping. And yeah, it's just my passion and I love sharing it with all of you. So again, thank you so much for all of the love and support. Everything is always in the description box below for your convenience, and we're going to get started finally with this reading. So let us begin. Alright, so first of all we're going to start with the first number. Alright, so let's have a look and see card number one, what is coming through. So we're just going to grab this. I'm going to put the flower on the side, so once I'm done with it, I know that, you know, I've already read this particular card. So we have got here, to your question, justice. Justice here represents a yes. This is about balance, all right? And it is also, again, a very strong yes, because you've got the two sides of the scale. You've got here things being resolved. This is about things becoming stronger. And also we've got here the sword, which also shows a sense of you really gaining a lot of clarity, and also things being resolved. So knowing where you stand in the situation, because justice taps into the core of an issue, or core of, in terms of knowing something. So this here represents a very solid yes. All right, so that is card number one. All right, so card number two, we are going to have a look and see what message I have for you. I'm just going to move the flower to the side. We have here temperance. Alright, so temperance here really represents a yes because, when we think about temperance, it's fire energy, and fire energy is not obstructed. So this is not a no. So this is a no. No, this is not a no. That's what I mean. Wow, I'm getting confused myself. This is a yes. When we think again of fire, let me just say that again. When we think about fire, this is about, fire having its own path. It's not obstructed. So as I mentioned, it's a yes. It's not got anything to do with a no, basically. So that is what I'm really seeing here, is that this is a very solid yes to your question because there's no obstructions. When we also think about the water as well, again, no obstructions. So this is really about things progressing in that direction, and this is a very, very solid yes. And again, everything is happening for its own reasoning and its own purpose because this is an angel card. So it shows that, regardless of what it means in terms of your questions, it's showing a huge amount and a great sense of protection towards you from the higher. So angels, spirit guides, the divine, the universe, they're there to protect you in your quest in terms of this particular answer. So it shows a very big yes. All right, so hopefully that wasn't too confusing. I do apologize. All right, card number 3. All right, let's see, is it a yes or a no? I'm just going to move the flower to the side. We've got here the Hermit, which shows a no. All right, so that is the answer to your question. The Hermit is ruled by Virgo, so you may feel like, you're thinking about this question a lot, you're over-analysing, overthinking, which just know that from time to time that is completely normal, but I do feel that the answer to this question is a no, and I think that, you will be able to use that light to really guide you in your path to go further. And I think that, this can also give a lot of clarity to what you have wanted to know. So again, this is a no. All right, card number 4. Just going to move the flower to the side. We have the Magician. Okay, so the Magician here showcases a very, very big yes. This particular card really represents a lot of growth, a lot of bloom, but I also want you to know that Magician can at times represent trickery, all right? But for this particular scenario and what I'm feeling from the spirit guides in terms of this entire reading, this means a yes because it shows the infinity symbol as well, and it shows here a lot of bloom and growth, especially in regards to your question. And I also see here that this means it's sort of pointing towards, stability and you using all of your tools. So I very much so feel that the answer to this question is a very, very solid yes. All right, and also, number 1 as well. You've got all these flowers, leaves, trees, so it's a very, very solid yes. And that is the Magician. Card number 5. Okay, I'm just going to move the flower to the side. We've got here the Sun card. So this shows a very, very big yes in regards to the question. Wow, very to the point, right? We see a lot of bloom and growth. We see the sun here, again, really showcasing a lot of like positive energy. And when we see positive, positive is also associated with a yes. So again, to me, this showcases a very, very big yes to your question. And the sun, it's a big, bright energy for sure. Okay, so that showcases like the positive, like the plus. Because the plus and the minus. So that's a plus, which means yes. All right, card number 6. We are going to this one right here. So I'm just going to move the flower to the side. Oops, almost dropped it. Okay, we've got the Death card, which signifies a very, very strong no. So to me, this is very clear cut. For those of you that know a lot about tarot, you know that this particular card has so many different meanings as well, but to me this is a very, very clear cut. Death, no, it's one of those things, and that's what I feel that it means. So this is a very strong no for your question. All right, card number 7, I believe we're on 7. I'm just going to move the flower to the side. We have here the World card. So this, to me, actually showcases a very, very strong yes, because you've got this energy, right, of balance. You've got this more positively charged energy, which also showcases, again, a yes. And you've got this energy of you really thinking and wondering about this entire scenario. It's really existing in your thoughts, as you can see here in the actual card, the illustrations. So this here to me showcases a very, very strong yes, a very, very strong yes. All right, card number 8. Oops, sorry, I just dropped my pen. Let's do that again. Card number 8. This is your answer. We've got the Emperor. Okay, so the Emperor here shows a yes to your question. Again, a very strong energy of progression, movement, which also has the tie to the answer of yes. You know, again, nothing is obstructed, nothing is blocked. It's a pretty positive card to me. This also shows positive energy, which also takes me to a yes. All right, so that is what we have right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, I just have to make sure and count, of course. Okay. All right, so card number 9, I just put the flower to the side as well. We've got here the Devil. So this really showcases a very, very strong no to your question. The Devil doesn't have the best energy. It's known to be quite a toxic energy as well, so it doesn't have the best of energies tied to it. But regardless, I feel very, very strongly that this is a no to your question, unfortunately. And it does show this this sort of chained energy, which is not freeing. And when I think of free, I think of yes, but when I think of chained, which is what we see here, this showcases a very strong no. Okay, so that is what we're seeing there with the Devil. All right, so card number 10. I'm just going to move this flower to the side. We have here the Fool. Okay, so the Fool here showcases a yes. It's also the first card in the major arcanas, which shows a journey. It shows that there's still more. So essentially, to me, this also showcases a yes. You've also got some very positive energy with the Sun, and when I think of positive and a plus, I think of yes as well. So this is a yes to your question. All right, so card number 11. Okay, move the flower. And we've got here the Chariot. So this shows here a very, very strong yes. This is about movement. And also, it's again just about things not being obstructed. The answer is very, very clear cut, and it is a yes. So there you go. You've got the Chariot, you know, which is about wheels in motion. It's about progression. It's about moving forward, and it's also about you know, things going in essentially the right direction that they're supposed to go in. It's also about balance. You know, you've got the 2 Sphinx there as well, which represent also yin and yang. Believe it or not, the tarot books that I have read, you know, in regards to the history of tarot, show that the Sphinx have that particular meaning of yin and yang, which is pretty amazing as well. So the answer to your question here is a very strong yes. All right, card number 12. Right, I'm just going to move this flower. We've got here the Hanged Man. All right, so the Hanged Man energy is very, very much so about thinking and contemplating. Now, when I think of this particular card, it really shows a sense of this particular person also being tied to this tree, and you know, it's this really interesting position, and it is quite restricted in some ways, but also it's still very freeing. Now, this is a very 50-50 kind of energy. I really feel that this also showcases a no as well. So what I would recommend is, since you have chosen this particular card, definitely choose another card as well from this entire reading, because I think that that will more so signify and give you more of an in-depth answer as to why you got the Hanged Man as well, because this is very 50-50, and there are lots of cards, that can go 50-50, and there's lots of questions, where things can be so up in the air that it's a very up in the air sort of situation. I mean, look at this Hanged Man, right? Totally up in the air, and that's what I'm seeing here. So definitely go ahead and pick another card as well for your question, and I think that will just definitely seal what you are asking. All right, so that is your answer. Very up in the air for sure. All right, card number 13. Just going to move the flower. We got here the moon, okay? So the moon here suggests a very, very strong energy of no. It's about really deep thoughts, and it's also about cycles and phases and changes, progression, shifts. It shows a very strong no, and I really also feel that this is one of those things where it's showing a no because it's best for you in your path, and oftentimes, it can be really challenging sometimes to hear a no, but also I feel like for some of you the no could really help you in your path. So that is what we have right there. It's a very strong no. It can also show a lot of like secrets and challenges, and be about things that you don't necessarily already know about. Okay, so that's a no. Okay, card number 14. Let's move this to the side. We've got here the Tower, which shows a pretty clear-cut no. This is ruled by Mars, and Mars is very, very destructive, and when I think of destructive or negative energy, we naturally go towards no. So to me, this is a very strong no, and no doesn't always mean bad. Sometimes no can bring us to the right path, and what can also happen with this tower is that the tower is, it's going through a demolition, should I say, and it can all come crashing down. But the beautiful thing about it is that something new can also rebuild as well. So just know that because it's a no doesn't necessarily always mean that it's a bad thing. And of course, for your question, it could actually mean a good thing. So the thing that I'm seeing here is a very strong no, but it can also allow you to rebuild, and it can actually be a good thing. So that is what we've got there with that card. All right, so question, or let's do that again. Card number 15. Right, I'm just going to move the flower. Got here the Strength card. All right, so the Strength card is one of these cards which can go two ways. It's a very up in the air kind of an energy. Now, Strength can be positive, okay, and for your question, it can also mean like the opposite. So for example, this is actually showing a very, very positive aspect to your question, but depending on how you phrase the question, if it's a yes, it could actually mean something negative, or if it's a no, it could still mean something negative. So for example, I'm going to give you an example. If your question here was, does this person love me, right? And say, for example, Strength card could mean yes or no. What I'm seeing is it's the positive aspect of that question. So this would be a yes, right? Am I going to get my dream job? Say the answer to that question is a yes, then this Strength card here is representing the positive aspect to that question, like the positive outcome. What could mean a no that could actually be quite positive? Say for example, there's something you really want in your life, like for example, is the person I love seeing somebody else, right? If it's no, basically, right? So it's really showcasing here that this card means the most positive aspect to your question. It could be a yes or a no, but it's the more positive answer to your question, if that makes sense. I really hope that makes sense, because this is really showcasing that Strength here is showing the strongest answer, but of course, it could mean a yes or a no, depending on how you phrased it. It's just the more positive aspect, okay? So for example, I don't know what could be a good example. Am I going to get my dream job? If that's your question, and the most positive outcome for you could be a yes, then the Strength card here is representing a yes. You know what I mean? Like this is showcasing the more positive aspect to your question. I really hope that makes sense, but essentially it's showcasing the best possible answer for you. So whatever you want essentially your answer to be, that's what it's showcasing for you. It could be a yes or a no, but it depends on how you've also phrased your question. It's a very like two-sided energy. It's giving you the strongest answer basically for your question. So it's a yes or no, but depending on what it is. Okay, so I hope that didn't confuse anybody. Okay, so if you want a yes, then it's a yes, right? If you wanted a no for that question, it's a no. Okay, so I hope that really helped you. Card number 16. Let's have a look and see what the answer to your question is. I'm just going to remove this flower and put it to the side. It's the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune represents here a very, very strong sense of abundance, all right? This means that it's giving you essentially a beautiful answer. And you know what? There is always going to be cards in here that are going to tell you what you want to hear. And there are going to be cards in this particular reading which, you know, will give you cards and things that you don't want to hear. This is going to give you what you want to hear. All right, so if you want to hear a yes for your question, this is showing you that yes, there is a yes to your question. If you want to hear a no for your question, this is showing you, hey, you have a no to your question. Why? Because the Wheel of Fortune is abundance, and it's bringing you a lot of that abundance, and also it's Jupiter energy. So Jupiter is bringing success. It's bringing you the answer that you want to hear. This is like music to your ears, all right? So if you wanted a yes for your question, it's bringing you a yes. If you wanted a no for your question, it's bringing you a no. And if you weren't sure what the answer actually is, then it is what you're most inclined or you're most drawn to in terms of a yes or a no. All right, so that is what we're seeing with the Wheel of Fortune. Question, or actually card. Card number 17. Move this flower to the side. We've got here the Hierophant. So the Hierophant here showcases a very, very strong yes to your question. It also showcases stability. Those two keys are crossed over, which is very, very positive in nature. And when I think of positive things, I think of the yes part. So this here is showing a very, very strong yes, and it's also showing a sense of balance. So it's a very, very big yes. Card number 18. Right, let's just put the flower there. We have here the Lovers. All right, now one thing to really note about this particular card is that it goes two sides, because the Lovers is ruled by Gemini, and Gemini is about the twins, and it's about both sides and both perspectives. Now the Lovers is a really beautiful card. You know, it has to be said, the Lovers is such a beautiful and very spiritual card. You've got an angel at the top, you've got the sun shining. Now you may be pulled to really want an answer for this particular question, right? You might be thinking, oh, I really want a yes for this question, or oh, I really want a no for this question. Essentially, it's showing you whatever you have wanted for this particular question is the answer to your question. So if you wanted a yes for your question, it's showing a yes. If you wanted a no for your question, it's showing a no, because the Lovers card here shows things being in your favor. All right, so take it as that. There can be lots of cards which showcase the two-sided energy, but it's really showing here that, you know, essentially what you have wanted in this situation is very much so, it's actually showcasing that, you know, the answer that you've wanted is that answer. All right, so that is what we have here with the Lovers. Wow, so beautiful. Card number 19. Okay, just going to move this flower to the side. The Star card. Look at that. Okay, so the Star card here is a very, very strong energy. This is a yes, but this is also a no. All right, now the really interesting thing about this is that the star here is about a wish. It's the bigger picture. All right, so there are some things that are good for us, there are some things that are not. There are some things we need to keep, there are some things we need to release and let go of. The Star card is ruled by Aquarius. It's about the water bearer. This card is also about healing, releasing, letting go, and it's also about doing what is best for us. So when I see this particular card, it shows that it's really up to you. It's also up to the divine. And so this is a very up in the air kind of a card, but it also shows a wish, right? That you have this wish. And what I would suggest is that either you choose one of these other cards to strengthen the yes or no to this particular question, or you really think about what it is that you want out of this, because I feel like whatever you want out of this, you can actually make it happen. You can actually manifest what you want in regards to this particular question. You know, like for example, if your question is, will love ever come my way? Or will I be famous? Will I be rich? Will I be successful? These are things that you can actually make happen. All right, if your question was specifically something else, you know, that is a little bit more challenging for you to perhaps make happen, then what I would suggest again is choosing another card to answer for this particular question that you have. All right, but the star card here shows that a lot of it is in your own hands, and that's what we see with this particular wish card. All right, so that is that card number 19. So now we're going to go card number 20. Okay, let's just the flower to the side. We've got the Empress. Okay, so Empress here showcases a very strong yes. It's a very, very strong and very, very beautiful energy, but it also does showcase in a way that it's about also making sure you put yourself first in situations. So I think that that's very important. And yeah, overall, this is a very big yes to your question. It's very self-explanatory. I feel like, you know, the Empress just shows a yes. All right, so card 21. Let's just shimmy the card out like so. Put the flower on the side, and we've got here the High Priestess. All right, so the High Priestess here really showcases in what I believe is a sense of no to your question. I know that you might think like, Moonlight, how does that mean no? You know, what the High Priestess does is the High Priestess puts themselves in a place of power, and I really do feel that this is often about, you know, using that power to trust the universe, trust the guides, and trust emotions. And I really do feel that this is a no, but it also is like it's a yes as well. And that's the thing I'm seeing with both of these pillars. I'm seeing this two-sided energy where essentially this is about, you know, the best outcome, you know, and this is the best thing for you. So if you have been challenged and you've been thinking about, you know, I don't know if this is good for me or if it's bad for me, this is about your intuition and using your intuition to find out whether it's good or bad. And I feel for a lot of you, you may feel like, you know, the right answer is a no, and you might have been resisting that for a while. And for some of you, the answer is a yes, because it really truly is, you know, best for you. But I feel like you have an intuition, you have a gut, you know what's right, you know what's wrong, but at times you may be resisting it. High Priestess is all about intuition, and it's all about doing the thing that is best for you, and it's all about the answer that is best for you as well. You know, is it healthy for you? Is it good for you? You know, so this is really a very, very strong energy. Now, what I would recommend if this has really confused you, take another pick of another card. I would definitely recommend that, and that will just really strengthen, again, you know, the yes or the no in a more solid manner. But this is sometimes about our intuition knowing the right answer. Trust your intuition, trust your gut, because for some of you it's going to say a very strong no, for some of you it's going to say yes, but I feel like for 70% of you the answer is actually going to be no. So that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like both sides, but I'm seeing also a very strong no as well. But this is because it is a very strong intuition based answer where you're going to know that from within yourself. Don't give up on your intuition. Your intuition can tell you a lot more than you think. All right, I'm just going to take a sip of my water. My throat is just like not having it. All right. Last but not least, you know, this is card number 22. So let's have a look and see if you picked card number 22. Whether we have a yes or a no, we have a judgment card. Okay, so judgment here represents that it's all truly in your own hands. this represents that essentially you have free will when it comes to this entire situation, that it's really truly in your own hands. Whether it's a yes or a no, it shows that your actions and your words and your phrases have a lot of impact as to whether this is a yes or a no. So it's also about knowing from within, is this thing right for me? Like, do I want to go towards this, or do I want this to progress, or is this the right thing for me? It's about knowing that within yourself. Now, to strengthen whether this is a yes or no, ask yourself all of these questions, like, is this good for my future, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, my transformation, is it good for that? Because judgment is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is ruled by Scorpio, and Scorpio is all about transformations, intense energies. Pluto, huge, right? Huge in terms of transformation. So I really do feel that this is about thinking about the long-term aspect rather than also the short-term aspect. Now, to strengthen your yes or no for this question, have another pick, because you might get a strong yes or no from the other cards as well. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing right there. Sorry, I had to just take a sip of my water. But that's, this is going to be something that impacts you in terms of your long term. So have a think, is this worth it for 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line? I think it's very, very important, because judgment shows that it's truly in your own hands as well. A lot of it is, and also in your own thoughts and your aura. All right, so that is the final card. Now, feel free, if you have more questions, to ask questions, and also then to pick a card in relation. And yeah, so this is the reading. Do take care, stay safe, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye!